This meditation is brought to you by Comfort Recovery, an outpatient addiction treatment center in Southern California. You can learn more about Comfort Recovery at www.comfortrecoveryllc.com. To find more guided meditations for recovery, visit comfortrecoveryllc.com/meditate. Today we're going to do a body scan practice, just moving through the body slowly and investigating what comes up. So you can allow the eyes to close if you're comfortable doing so. And if not, that's all right as well. Just trying to leave them kind of at a soft gaze on the floor. Trying to kind of minimize the stimulation. And you can find a posture that feels as sustainable as possible, something in which you can sit in this position for the next 15 minutes or so. Of course, there's no telling what the future may hold, so if you need to make some adjustments at any point, don't be afraid to do so. I like to start my meditations just kind of coming into the body, really as it's sitting here right now, especially when we meditate in the evening like this. We've had a full day of the mind being active and on, of experience and stimulus coming our way. So just to feel the body as it's sitting here right now, you can feel the butt in the cushion, not judging it's good or bad or right or wrong, but feeling the actual physical experience. Feeling the legs or knees or feet on the floor. Noticing the weight of the body, gravity pulling you down. And really, all we're doing is making an effort to come into this present time experience. Out of the mind that's often worried about the future, thinking about something past. And just for now, arriving in our direct present time experience. And we're going to start with a body scan, which I think a few of you have done before. And what we're going to do is just move through the body gently, looking and seeing what experience is present. You don't need to change or fix anything as we move through. You also don't need to judge anything as good or bad, but really just a practice in tuning into what's already there, of being with the body. So you can start at the crown of the head, the scalp and top of the head, and just notice if there's any physical feeling there. Perhaps some tension. Perhaps you can feel the temperature of the air on the skin. Maybe there's not a whole lot going on. And you can move on into the forehead, the brow. Maybe noticing if there's any scrunching of the brow or tension there. Seeing if you can get a sense of the actual direct experience. As silly as it may sound, just feeling the forehead. And dropping down into the eyes and cheekbones. I often notice that even with my eyes closed, there's some movement, either the eyes kind of darting around or maybe some blinking. Noticing how tightly the eyes are shut. And again, not good or bad. It shouldn't be any certain way, but just tuning into how it is, how it actually feels. And you can move on down to the tip of the nose and the upper lip. a spot where you can subtly feel the breath as you inhale, that slight tickle right there. And with the exhale, you can feel the air come out just a little bit warmer. You can drop down into the mouth, noticing the lips, how the tongue is resting, the teeth in the jaw. Is the jaw clenched? Is there some slack in it? And down into the neck, the back of the neck, around the sides, and into the throat. Perhaps there's some tension or lightness. Maybe you notice yourself swallowing or feelings of the body breathing. And remembering that the mind may wander. It's the mind's job to think. Nothing wrong with you for thinking. And when the thoughts come up, just letting them be. You don't need to push them away. You don't need to stuff them down, but just not hooking into them, coming back to the body. So often our response to the thinking mind is to treat it as bad. But just for this meditation practice, trying to just kind of leave the thoughts be and gently coming back to the body, gently bringing the awareness back to the present time experience. So you can move down the tops of the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Maybe you can feel the clothes on the body, a slight rising and falling as the body breathes. Moving out the shoulders and into the upper arms and elbows. Remembering that this is a practice, that we're cultivating an ability to be with the present time experience. If you were already perfect at it, you probably wouldn't be here. And that's okay. We all have work to do. So recognizing that intention just to come back to the body over and over again, as many times as necessary. Dropping down into the forearms and wrists. You may notice some points of contact where the arms are resting in the lap or touching each other or the legs. Whatever's present for you in the forearms and wrists. Then moving on into the hands. Going over the palm of the hand, the fingers and fingertips, the knuckles, the back of the hand. Tuning into any points of contact where the hands are resting on the knees or legs or in the lap. I often find that the temperature of the air feels different on my palm than it does on the back of the hand. Just bringing awareness to whatever's going on for you. And then you can come back up to the chest and letting the body breathe naturally, noticing the natural expansion and contraction of the lungs and rib cage. As you rest your awareness in the chest, you can feel that rising and falling in the middle, out the sides as the rib cage expands. And there really is nothing to do here except to be with the breath, to be with the physical sensations, letting go of our judgments and add ons, and being with the actual experience. You may notice the fluidity or movement as it's always changing, rise and fall, in and out. Can try tuning into that moment where it switches from inhale to exhale, that moment in between breathing in and breathing out. And moving on down into the abdomen and stomach, where again you may feel the body breathing. Maybe there's some sensations related to hunger or being really full. No good or bad or right or wrong. Maybe everything I've said that you may be feeling, you haven't felt one of those things. And that's perfectly all right. It's whatever's happening in your experience. Continuing on to the hips, the pelvis, the butt and the cushion. Feeling that point of contact where you're touching the ground. Noticing any tension. Continuing down the thighs, the hamstrings and quads, and into the knees. Can you feel the clothes on the body? Can you feel your arms or hands resting on the legs? Can you feel some movement here with the body breathing? Is there some tension from having sat relatively still for this amount of time? Dropping down into the lower leg, the calves, the shins, down into the ankles. And finally into the feet, what I consider the unsung heroes that carry us around all day. Going from the heel through the arch to the ball of the foot, the toes, the tops of the feet. Perhaps giving your toes a little wiggle to see how that feels. And we're going to spend these last few minutes just looking at the body as a whole. So, from head to toe, as you sit here right now, you can get a felt sense of how the body's resting, the posture of the body, not from any visual stimulation, but from really feeling it. You can feel your butt in the cushion, your feet and or legs on the floor, your neck holding your head up. And as you sit here and rest in the direct physical experience, what grabs your attention? Is it a pain in the knee, the sensation of the body breathing at the chest or nose, the feeling of the feet on the floor? And of course, there's no right or wrong answer, but just seeing what comes up into your awareness. As something kind of grabs your attention, tuning into it for a moment, seeing how that experience is. It doesn't take long often for us to notice that the mind wanders and grabs onto thoughts or sounds or plans or regrets. Or perhaps you have an experience in the body and you immediately notice that you like or don't like it, or you want to shift position. Just noticing those things and coming back to that physical experience. If you need to shift position or anything, you're absolutely welcome to. But just always remaining with the body. What grabs your attention? And as I ring the bell here in a moment to end the meditation, and right now, even as I'm saying this, noticing the reaction in the body, leaving the thoughts be just for now, and noticing if there's some eagerness or anxiety, or perhaps some kind of pulling away, or no reaction at all. And when I ring the bell to end the meditation, letting the bell ring out and sitting with it as you allow your eyes to open, and trying to retain some awareness in the body. The ringing of the bell does mean the formal practice is over, but it doesn't mean that we're just done tuning into the experience of the body.